Hello, this is Noreen Crone-Findlay from toddytalkscrafts.com. Last night, just before bed, I got a message from a lady who had bought the PDF pattern on my Etsy shop that to make the Kindness pin loom. And she said, Noreen, I can't find the quilting pins that you recommended anywhere. Can you send me a link where I can get them? And I went, oh my goodness, that's not good. I've been using these 2-inch long, quite hefty pins for decades. And when I wrote the instructions for the pin loom, even though I had used, now here's the 2-inch long ones. Here, I'll lay it down here. And there's the 1-inch one. And you can see that difference in thickness too. And so when I thought, well, when I'm telling people how to make the loom, let's go with the sturdiest option. And the sturdiest option was the big old one that is apparently, after hours of searching on the internet, I couldn't find them. When I was writing out the instructions a couple months ago, they were still available on the internet, and then everything kind of went boom, and life has changed, and stuff that was available then is not available now. So anyhow, I thought, oh my gosh. So I just wanted to just confirm for myself that using regular sewing pins is acceptable, is good, is fine. And yeah, so I wove up a bunch of squares using the 1-inch pins, and they worked just fine. So even though I had said before, oh, the other ones are sturdier, use them. Well, these are just fine. They work just fine. The other thing that's kind of nice about working with the pins that are only 1 inch long is if you prefer to have a thinner loom in your hand, then you don't have to go as deep. You don't have to make as thick a loom, a foundation base, when you're using the 1-inch pins. So the 1-inch pins, they work great. I also thought, I had never tried using the pins that have the plastic or glass heads on them. I just assumed that they would really get in the way, that the round heads would be a problem. So imagine my surprise when I warped up this one, and oh yeah, here's another one. Yeah, and I had pulled one of the pins out here, but I warped up using the pins with the glass heads, and again, they wove just beautifully. So I hadn't even tried them, so mea culpa, I should have tried that. Now I have. And so if you want to use pins with the heads, they make a nice little sound when they ping. I also thought I would try the boutonniere pins, and they are a longer pin, and they are thicker and sturdier. Just a minute, I brought one down here so I don't have to pull that out. They are thicker and sturdier than the regular little sewing straight pins. And again, I thought, oh, that's really not going to work, because that big head on there is going to be a problem. And what I did do was I found that I wove 1 fewer rows so that I would have a bit longer loop here at the last row, and the loops came off just fine. So even though, I would say this is my number 2 choice, number 3, because number 1 in my 2 most favorite would be the regular sewing pins, or the sewing pins, straight pins with the ball heads. I even tried, I thought, okay, the weaving with the boutonniere pins was such a surprise to me that, it worked fine. So I thought, I wonder if the the quilting pins that have the hearts on them would work. And I thought, nah, that's not going to work. So when I was warping the loom, I turned the hearts so that they run kind of in the same line as the warp strands going back and forth. Then when I was weaving, I turned them around to look like a little flower garden, so they were out of the way of the weaving. And then when I wanted to take the loops off, I turned all the little hearts again. And again, with any pin that has a big heart, the big topper, you're going to need to leave like an extra row here unwoven, so that, and then weave it up after you have the loop off the loom. And surprisingly enough, these ones worked okay. And now I'm going to show you one that is just unworkable, awful, terrible, awful. Don't do this at home. Blech. All the horrible, blech noises here. I thought, well, I don't think that T-pins will work, but gosh, they're so easily available. Oh, don't do this at home. Do not use the T-pins in the Kindness pin loom. It's not kind to the yarn. It's not kind to you as the weaver. It'll drive you crazy. You'll throw it across the room saying, oh, I hate this. And that's not what we want. We want this to be a happy, joyful experience. These, no, terrible, awful. Don't do it. So, yes, it would appear that these pins that I've been using for ever so many years, no longer available. But lots of other options that are just fine. So you're not going to be, up the creek without the proverbial. So, there are pins that will set you up happily for weaving. And so you'll be able to weave. I wove this little butterfly on here today, and I wove just a whole ton of other swatches just because I really needed to make sure that when I came and told you that all's well, it's fine. It's all okay. It's good that I had done enough of it. I mean, I knew that these pins worked just fine, even though I had said in the instructions, use the big ones, but you don't have to. So now you can go ahead, and I'm going to go and I will change the instructions in the pattern and just say, straight pins. And I will get in touch with the people who have bought the pattern already and say straight pins are just fine. And I will even put a picture in of this little loom, these little looms with the straight pins of various descriptions. So there we go. All's well. Well, be safe, be careful, be kind. And oh, my little dog just came and yodeled at me, so he's saying hugs from him too. Take good care and happy weaving. And the little flying joy pig just had to fly through and wish you joy. And the butterfly fluttered. And these, where did I put it? It's in here somewhere. These little squares are going to become part of other projects. I have a whole lot more wonderful projects happening, and some of them are going to become lucky penny pouches, and because it only takes one square to make a lucky penny pouch, you slip the lucky penny in, and then you can give a lucky penny to someone and wish them well. And I wish you well. So take care. Talk to you soon. And happy weaving. All's well. Big hugs all around. Talk to you soon. Bye.